Welcome to Pilo's Adventures. Today I'm taking you along for some incredible trout fishing, but that's just the beginning. Get ready for some epic underwater footage straight from inside the Crawdad trap. We're also sending up the drone for some amazing views where we spot a wrecked vehicle right off a cliff. And yep, a giant bullfrog just lurking around. It's a wild one today, so please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave any comments or questions. As always, my name is Pat Lowe, and this is Pilo's Adventures. All right, so we're heading down to Rose Canyon Lake. So this lake is up in the, I would guess, the southern end of the Santa Catalina Mountains in the Tucson area. And we're probably a little over 7,000 feet in altitude at this lake. So I don't know what the temperature is right now, but you know, it's the middle of the summer. But up here is, I don't know, mid 70s, maybe low 70s. Feels pretty nice. So this lake is not super big. I don't know the acreage or square footage or anything, but just a small lake up here, and it's pretty popular for fishing, especially in the summertime because people come up here to beat the heat. So they also have a lot of crawdads in this lake. So that's one of the things I'm after, some trout, browns, rainbows, and crawdads. So there is quite a few people here today. And there's a specific spot that I want to throw the crawdad trap out at. I'd done that about a week ago and was very successful. But I'm just a tad bit worried that with all the people here, I'm not going to be able to find a fishing spot or a spot for the trap. So I'm going to keep this recording as I come around the corner. You'll see the lake here in a second. I see some people coming out, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I already see tons of people down at this end. So where I want to go is down at the other end of the lake. Might have to get creative today. I see people on the other side of the lake too. Quite a few.
Got 2 crawfish already.
Excellent.
On my hook.
I'm hoping to catch some.
Just grab onto your hook, worm, and you bring them up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So first, before I start fishing, I'm going to throw out my crawdad trap. So there's a place around the corner here that I really like. So I'm going to get it in the water and get that going before anything else. So you'll see the spot here in just a second. It's a pretty good spot. I did notice along the way that some of the spots I wanted to fish, well, they're taken. But I think there's going to be some other spots for me. Anyway, let me get this trap in the water and then we'll get going on from there. So obviously I have a camera in there, and I am going to have the full length video of that on my YouTube channel. And I'll put a link to it on this video here, so enjoy. As you can see, there's already a crawdad right there on the right hand part of the screen, and another one's going to come lurking in on the left. So this video is really quite fascinating, so please go check it out. All right, so there's nobody here, and I think I know why. It's because of that dumb log. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to work with it. I'll just have to, when I catch a fish, I'll have to come over there and then work it away in here and see how I do with it. So I have no clue. This might have been a good spot to throw a crawdad trap, but I don't really see any rocks. I guess there's some over there. But we'll see how the first hour and a half does over there, and if it doesn't do any good, maybe I'll put a new battery in and throw it right here. So last time I was out here, I was catching them in really close. So I think that's what I'm going to try again. I got this log here. I want to try to avoid, so I think I'm just going to go right out here. Oop. Okay, blooper. I don't know if you can see it right there. There's a gigantic frog. These bullfrogs around here, they're huge. The video here really doesn't do it justice, but these frogs are really quite large and they're very noisy. So I wanted to get a little bit of a close-up of this bad boy. Pretty cool. All right, just sitting there. So I'm going to get a cast out there and see if we can start catching some trout. It's a beautiful spot, as you can see. So I'm going to get her all set up and we'll see what happens next. All right, I'm already getting a bite here. All right, I got him. Feels pretty small.
Fish is a fish, right?
That's true. Yellow power bait.
Yellow?
Yep. Pretty simple. You couldn't hear, the guy over there was asking me what I was using for bait, so I was just using yellow power bait. I'll talk about my rig here in just a second. So what I'm doing now is I'm just grabbing my pliers and trying to figure out how I'm going to get this fish in. So I kind of had to work around that log and some of the weeds, but really wasn't that hard. Nice little trout. What is the trout limit here?
4.
4, okay. That's... Another bite. Typical trout bite. So the fishing here was really pretty good. I caught 3 in about an hour, but I only had 1 pull in the water and I wasn't trying super hard. Really, I was just killing time because of the crawdad trap, but I'm going to set the hook here any second. There we go. Anyway, we're going to get this trout in. I'm just going to let the video run a little bit during this one. You can see myself maneuvering around to try to figure out how to get this trout all the way up into the bank. Now I wasn't able to release them, so I did keep 3 trout, and a little later on kind of had some other bites, but 3 trout was definitely enough. So I'll get this one in here in just a second. All right, I'm going to pull them out of the little weed there and lift them up. So it's a nice little rainbow trout. Pretty typical stocked trout. Nothing too exciting. All right, so here is my setup. So obviously I got some Berkeley power bait. That's the corn, yellow. And that's what I used every single time. So I'm a little bit finicky about how I get my rig set up. So I have just a slip sinker up at the top with a swivel, and then I've got probably 3 or 4 feet of leader to a number 10 Gamakatsu red hook. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I like to take the power bait, put it on the hook, squish it all around with my fingers, but then I put it in the water and then I take it back out and then I squish it again. And I found that that generally packs it on there a lot better for me. So all my little tag lines, I like to snip pretty short. I like to have a really clean, good setup, and that's always worked out for me really well. So especially today, pretty much every cast, if I waited a little bit, I was getting bites. I don't think that was a dragonfly. Yeah, well, yeah. Little guy. I got plenty if you're interested. About a dragonfly earlier. There was this big, huge dragonfly hovering around, and it kept hitting the line, and it kept making me think I was getting a bite, but it wasn't. Anyway, also some other people were talking to me that you can't really hear. So you hear me answering some other people, and but you can't hear them talk. So that's what that is. All right, so here I am pulling in my Crawdad trap. So as I started to pull, you can see out there there's some rocks. Well, unfortunately, the trap was kind of tangled up in some rocks. So I had to kind of walk out in the water a little bit. Get out there a little bit further. Nope, still got rocks. So I was getting to the point where my pockets were going to get wet. So I had to turn around, you'll see here, and throw my keys and throw my wallet and a couple other things out of my pockets so they didn't get all icky. The water's pretty clean here, so I'm not too worried about that. Just didn't want to get things wet. But as you see here, I finally get to the point where I can pull up the pot and check out what's inside. I love this video. It's one of my favorite things. So the pot's been in the water, the water a little bit, and you can see these crawdads lurking around. There's some underneath the pot. This guy on the left here, he's putting his claws through trying to get at the bait. This just cracks me up. I enjoy this so much. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I'm not going to show you the full video, but you can see a lot of crawdads are getting in this pot. And they're just looking around. It's kind of creepy. Listen to this. So the bait that I'm using are Oscar Mayer hot dogs, just your old-fashioned standard hot dog. So they seem to love it. I cut it up, put it in that little spot, and look at this. Up here, you got this big boy just crawling right in. Yep. Come on in, fella. Once you get in, you're not going to get out. This is pretty cool. I'm going to let you just listen just for a second. Keep in mind, you got to go watch this full video. It's not edited. There's no crazy sounds or any talking. It's just the crawdads. Okay, that guy, he shot out for some reason. That was pretty funny. All right. So that's what was inside. I had a camera in there. Now I'm going to take this out, walk up to the shore. I'm going to empty it out and then move on. All right, so in Arizona, crawdads are an invasive species. So I'm not allowed to put them back, and I'm not allowed to transport them live. So I put them in a bucket and then put cold ice over the top of them, and it kills them the most humane way possible. So that's what I did with the crawdads. All right, that's Rose Canyon Lake. Heading back up to the truck. It was a successful day. 3 rainbows. I could have caught the limit, but only fished for an hour. Looked like maybe 10 or 12 crawdads. So I think it's going to be fish and crayfish for dinner tonight. As I made my way down the mountain, the breathtaking landscape surrounding me demanded my full attention. Craving a break from both the noise of the world and the clamor within my own mind, I decided to kill the engine. In that profound stillness, choosing simply to stop, look, and listen, this is what I saw.
Dust and the chatter of my own design, the fish in the kettle that climb on my mind. Too many thoughts for a single trail, a mountain of whispers behind a thin veil. I was busy in the canyon, losing the thread, chasing the echoes of things left unsaid. But look at the teeth of the ridgeline bite, drinking the heat of the Arizona light. I killed the steel, let the spinning stop, fell silent to the canyon from the gravel drop. Just stop, look, and listen to the storm until the silence feels like coming home. The road coiled down like a tired snake, past the jagged shadows of the mountain wake. Jag drops and shadows where the water falls, between the high granite canyon walls. No more rattle of a restless heart, just the world pulling wide apart. Look at the teeth of the ridgeline bite, drinking the heat of the Arizona light. I killed the steel, let the spinning stop, fell silent to the canyon from the gravel drop. Just stop, look, and listen to the storm until the silence feels like coming home. Stop. Look. Listen. Just the storm. Just the storm.